I don't think that we can ever have peace with my family unless the truth is out there.
The palace has seen scandals, rivalries, and betrayals before, but nothing like this. At 6 o'clock sharp, the nation braced itself for a royal announcement. But instead of King Charles or Queen Camilla, two very different faces appeared on screen: William and Kate. No crown, no throne, no guards. Just a message that sent shockwaves through the monarchy. Some called it a tribute, others called it a power grab. But one thing was certain: nothing inside the palace would ever be the same again. The royal family is famous for their careful planning. Every word, every move, usually timed to perfection. But this time, something felt off. It began with a single line on the royal website: an official announcement will be made at 6 o'clock p.m. No hints, no explanations, nothing else. For the palace, that silence was strange, almost alarming. Normally, trusted reporters get early access to prepare the narrative. But this time, even the most seasoned royal insiders admitted they were completely in the dark. Phones rang non-stop, headlines speculated wildly. Was it about the king's health, a sudden abdication? Or had someone inside the family gone too far? The uncertainty only fueled the frenzy, and the public started asking their own questions. What do you think? Was the silence a mistake, or was it part of a much bigger plan? Leave a comment with your thoughts, because here's the truth: in royal circles, silence is never accidental. And then, the clock struck 6. But wait until you see what happened next. At exactly 6 o'clock, the screen lit up. But it wasn't King Charles. It wasn't Queen Camilla. It was William and Kate. No royal backdrop, no glittering throne, not even a guard in sight. Just the two of them, sitting in what looked like an ordinary office. And yet, they commanded the nation's full attention. William spoke first. No drawn-out greeting. No carefully staged history lesson. Just one clear statement: the monarchy is not just a symbol. It is a duty. Then Kate followed, calm and steady. This isn't about tradition. It's about trust. With those words, she completely redefined what royalty means in today's world. Think about that for a moment. No king, no queen, just the young couple standing on their own. Was this loyalty to the crown, or the beginning of a power shift? What do you think? Comment below. Because what came next turned a simple speech into a global shockwave. And that's not all. This was only the beginning. Then came the moment that changed everything. William and Kate didn't just thank the public or speak about duty. They unveiled something brand new: the Diana Initiative. For years, Princess Diana's memory has been softened into flowers at the palace gates and quiet tributes every August. But this was different. Kate made it clear. This wasn't about looking back. It was about bringing Diana's voice forward, louder and stronger than ever. She promised no red carpets, no stage photo ops, no empty words. Instead, real action: visiting shelters, helping struggling families, supporting communities that are often ignored. Diana once used compassion to rebel. Kate is now using it to lead. The reaction was immediate. Social media exploded, dubbing Kate the people's queen. News outlets crowned her not with jewels, but with trust. For many, it felt like Diana had returned, this time through her son and daughter-in-law. But here's the question for you. Do you think this was truly about honoring Diana, or was it a calculated step to take control of the monarchy's future? Leave your thoughts below, because while the world cheered, the silence inside the palace spoke louder than words. And what happened next revealed just how divided the royals really are. But wait until you hear who wasn't celebrating. Outside the palace, the Diana Initiative looked like a triumph. Crowds praised William and Kate, calling them the future. But inside those walls, a very different story was unfolding. King Charles said nothing. Queen Camilla said nothing. No words of support, no congratulations, not even a brief statement. For a royal family that lives on appearances, that silence was deafening. Behind the scenes, insiders whispered that Charles was stunned. He felt the spotlight slip away, almost overnight. One aide recalled him asking quietly, "What have they done?" Not in anger, more in disbelief. But for Camilla, the silence came with unease. She had spent years fighting for respect, carefully building her image. Now, suddenly, Diana's name was back, louder and stronger than ever. And it threatened to overshadow everything she had worked for. Advisors reportedly warned against trying to control or downplay the initiative. Doing so would make the palace look jealous and petty. So Charles and Camilla stayed quiet, hoping the excitement would fade. But it didn't. Instead, the initiative grew louder, stronger, and more public. And that's when another twist shook the palace even harder. What do you think? Was the silence a sign of disapproval, or were Charles and Camilla simply caught off guard? Comment below. Because the next move didn't come from William or Kate. It came from someone else. Someone whose return would stir old wounds. And that's not all. Wait until you see who walked back into the spotlight. Just as the palace was reeling, another surprise hit the headlines. Prince Harry suddenly returned to England, reportedly to see his father, who was battling cancer. For some, it looked like a chance for healing, maybe even the first step toward repairing a broken family. But instead of unity, Harry's words reopened old wounds. Speaking about the Diana initiative, he called it, "My mother's legacy in action." The comment made front-page news around the world, and many praised him for speaking from the heart. But behind closed doors, William was furious. Insiders say he felt blindsided, like Harry had hijacked the project without even speaking to him first. A tense phone call followed, with William reportedly saying, "You can't just jump in now," accusing his brother of using Diana's name to keep his own popularity alive. Harry didn't back down. In an interview days later, he insisted, "Diana's work belongs to everyone, not just the palace." To the public, it sounded supportive. To William, it was a direct challenge. The media wasted no time. Headlines shifted from the initiative itself to a new royal feud. This time, not just father against son, but brother against brother. Memes spread across social media. Same mom, different battles. So here's the question for you. Was Harry defending his mother's legacy, or was he trying to step back into a spotlight he had already left behind? Drop your answer in the comments, because what started as a tribute to Diana was now becoming something else entirely. And the next revelation would prove that this royal feud had been building for far longer than anyone realized. Long before the Diana initiative, there was another story that quietly changed the royal family forever. It started with something so small, it almost sounds ridiculous. A bridesmaid dress. Just days before Harry and Meghan's wedding, Kate messaged Meghan about Princess Charlotte's dress not fitting properly. What should have been a minor issue spiraled into an emotional clash. Both women ended up in tears. But when the story hit the press, the roles were reversed. Headlines claimed Meghan had made Kate cry. For years, that version stuck. Meghan was painted as the difficult outsider, while Kate was praised for her composure. But in her interview with Oprah, Meghan revealed the opposite truth. "I was the one who cried." By then, it was too late. The public had chosen sides. Meghan looked like the villain, and Kate's image seemed even more polished. Some insiders now believe Kate's silence was intentional, that by letting the story spread unchecked, Meghan was slowly being pushed out. Think about it. One dress, one silence, and suddenly Meghan's role within the family began to shrink. Invitations faded, smiles looked colder, and before long, Harry and Meghan were on their way out. Do you think Kate knew exactly what she was doing? Or was it just a royal misunderstanding that spiraled out of control? Let me know in the comments, because as tense as this rivalry was, it wasn't the only silent battle inside the palace. Another feud was brewing, this time between Kate and Queen Camilla herself. And that fight? It was even more dangerous. But wait until you hear what happened next. While Meghan was being pushed further out of the picture, another silent power struggle was taking shape. This time, much closer to the throne. Kate versus Queen Camilla. On the surface, the two women smiled for the cameras, but behind the palace walls, things were far less friendly. Reports revealed that Camilla had no intention of stepping aside, even with King Charles battling serious health issues. She had fought too long for her crown to simply hand it over. And here's the part most people forget. Both William and Harry once begged their father not to marry Camilla. They never wanted her in this role. Yet now, she wasn't just queen. She was determined to keep her grip on power. Sources close to Camilla say she always wanted to be queen, and she's not ready to give that up for Kate. For Camilla, this isn't just a title. It's something she fought for over decades, through scandal, criticism, and public outrage. But Kate has her own vision of the monarchy. Insiders claim that once Charles steps back, William and Kate will quietly move to limit Camilla's role. And Camilla knows it. That's why every move Kate makes, especially invoking Diana's name, feels like a direct threat. So what do you think? Is Camilla holding on to power out of love for the monarchy, or fear of being erased by Diana's shadow? Share your thoughts below. Because if Camilla thought the Diana initiative was just charity, she was wrong. It was the beginning of something much bigger. A battle for the future of the crown. And what William and Kate did next made that crystal clear.